Hey everybody, Alex here, and welcome to another video, an update video, because it's been a little weird up in these here parts for the past, I don't know, 2 months. So, I guess, long story short, and some of you guys know, life attacked, and life attacked pretty hard. It's a combination of stuff, a little bit dealing with my furry assistant, who you can't see because he's sitting behind me, and if I turn, I completely lose the mic. Um, he has had a bunch of health issues as of late. Now, knock on wood, we're looking okay, but he is pushing 20 years old as a cat, which is over 100. And as much as doctors say, wow, he actually looks really good for his age, there's only so much you can do. So essentially, everything kind of stopped because we wanted to focus on him. And as long as he's comfortable and it's not having a complete hindrance on his quality of life, we want him to stick around as long as possible. That being said, I am now very good at doing sub-Q fluids. For those of you who don't know, that's basically just like an injection you can do at home. Never thought I'd ever have to do that for an animal. My mom used to have to take injections for insulin and stuff like that with her diabetes, but she never did it in front of me and never asked me to do it. But all this has been a learning curve. It's been a lot of trips to the vet, and on top of that, a bunch of stuff happened with my dad. Um, Basically, long story short, on that, he's now at some sort of extended stay facility, I'll say. And I truthfully just don't know how he's doing on any given day. He also had two dogs, so I had to get those guys rehomed because we couldn't take them, especially with Mischief back there. With his and they're puppies, they're under 5 years old. So, if you don't know, when it comes to rehoming dogs, or any pet for that matter, if you don't have any form of legal ownership, you technically can't do it unless certain things align. Now, as it stands in my state, there is a law saying if the individual doesn't live in with the animals for 90 days, the ownership goes to next of kin. So pretty much these guys were living by themselves for 90 days. And obviously I was checking on them. The guys in my dad's building were checking on them and everything like that. They ate. We got them to the vet. We got them cleaned up and all that stuff. But ultimately, it's not fair. And once all that was done, I was finally allowed to take steps to get them rehomed. And luckily, they are out of the foster system already, and they now have a new family. And I've been waiting for pictures of them since. They actually live in Pennsylvania now, believe it or not. But, end of the day, you got to do the right thing, even if you have to be the bad guy. And to be honest with you, with the way things are, I don't even know if I am the bad guy. I mean, to me, I am, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't know. From where my dad sits, as it were. But in the process of that, there's his apartment and all this other stuff, and people just not getting back to me, as well as work, and everything else. So it's been a lot of juggling. And I mean, for instance, I filmed a pickup video, and then I put everything away, and then I deleted the video without even editing it. And I just haven't had the energy to sit down and do any of this stuff. Not due to lack of trying, just lack of time, And even with Video Games Gaiden, we will be doing a form of a Christmas episode, as it were. So I don't know when that's going to happen, like actual release. But I want to get it out around that time. I figured out the day to do it. Just haven't figured out the time to edit before I even recorded it. Or any of that stuff. I have been picking up stuff along the way. I have been playing stuff, as a bunch of you guys know. There's always time for that, especially since I work from home. But in terms of just like scheduling, it's horrendous. And thank God for pet insurance. It is drink to that. But we have been playing stuff, so this isn't really like a I'm sorry I haven't been around video, because honestly life happens and that's part of everybody. That's something everybody goes through, myself included, obviously. But I did want to tell you guys what's coming down the pipe. Like I said, there will be a Video Games Gaiden episode for you guys to listen to. It's going to be holiday themed. Hopefully it comes out before the Christmas day or round about that time. Additionally, I do have a So Nice I Finished It Twice video I have to do. I actually just finished doing the thumbnail this morning. I have to sit down and record that, and I have to get some footage, I think. One game, you could probably put 2 and 2 together. I'm kind of afraid to put footage in there because, they're going to come and be like, excuse me. And then I'm going to be like, dude, I don't fucking monetize anything. It is what it is. And then for you crazy people, there will be a Game of the Month of the Year video. And I have to say, it's definitely going to come out in January at the rate I'm going. But the variety of things that are on this list this year are kind of wacky. There's one particular entry on this where it's one of those rare instances to me where I think a hyped up game actually lives up to it. And I'm very excited to talk about it because it's something that's been on my to-do list for a very long time, and I finally got around to it. And then once we go into 2026, we are going to have another challenge video for my backlog. Obviously, Q4, So Nice, they named it twice, playing sequels to games I've played the first entry of, was very successful. I went above and beyond what I wanted to do. I actually ended up finishing, I think, 17 games, but it doesn't make sense for me to do one video or a video on one game where I kind of just ramble. But 16, that's none too shabby considering I originally wanted to do 12, and the 4 was just because I had to do quarters. So for next year, we're stepping away from sequels and 5s and 2s and quarters and all that. And we're going a little vague because I think we can have some fun with it. And the theme is going to be games with dragons. And that could be a dragon in the name. That could be a dragon in the game. It could be a big bad boss. It could be on the freaking cover art and nowhere else to be seen. It could even just be a game that has dragon in the title and has nothing to do with dragons. There's a ton of those in my backlog, and just speaking from silliness, that really opens up me into finally getting around to the backlog of Dragon Quest games that I keep putting off. I still have to play 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. Well, actually finish 8, 9, and the spin-offs. Monsters 1, Monsters 2, Treasures, and Monsters... whatever the other one was on the Switch. I can't remember which one. And then Builders, one of those things too. So, but ultimately there's just a lot of different stuff I could go about with that. And, also during this time, we've also seen a bunch of nonsense happen with this hobby where I can't even make heads or tails of it. But as I've said in the past, it is one of those things where I am so grateful that I've been able to pick up what I have, and I have what I have because I have pretty much all the retro stuff that I was ever looking for at this point. And I do owe one... no, I did it. I did all of them. One of the Storage Unit Chronicle videos I actually scrapped, which was the Sega CD, Sega Saturn stuff, just because... truthfully, I picked a lot of the Saturn stuff that I had as a kid. I actually don't have, save like Nights into Dreams and stuff like that. All of it was rebought, and the games I did have as a kid, like when I went about rebuilding the collection, none of them are actually here. in terms of like I never actually went back and picked them up other than Knights, other than Dark Legend. Was it Dark Legend or Dark Saviors? I don't even remember. Stuff like that. So I kind of just scrapped it. And then for the Sega CD stuff, I put everything away back in the closet, and I was just like, I'm tired. I'm not doing this again. And plus, there's been so much new stuff coming out and re-releases that a bunch of the more, not obscure things, but some of the more obvious things I've been able to rotate out because they have a more convenient way for me to play it at this point, which has been great. Because it's enabled me to get some extra cash on the side because I'm actually trying to get myself a Legion Go S at this point because my buddy was debating on getting rid of his, and he let me borrow it. And one of the So Nice I Named It Twice games, I actually played on it because I figured let me just try it out with this. And yeah, it is. I mean, the battery life sucks. I'll be completely honest with you, but from where I sit, literally, I am either plugged in all the time. I could plug on the TV. And stupid me, he asked me, hey, do you think you could work some sorcery on this thing? I was like, oh, absolutely. And I set it all up. And that's exactly when he said, oh, I'd like to have it back. So now I'm like, well, now that I know how to do all that, and I've basically just destroyed his hard drive doing it, I can do it to mine. And no time like the present, because this shit's about to go up a lot higher due to a bunch of manufacturers backing out and all this crap, at least as of this recording. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I just wanted to come out here, throw this up just to say, hey, I'm alive. For those of you that may have wondered, those of you I do talk to on Discord, obviously you see me pop on. And that's about it. I've been Alex, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.